Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jane Stevens, and today we're going to be talking about AI for agents. So again, please let me know in the chat if you have used AI before, if you're joining me brand new with zero experience, or if you've used it a little bit and you're just wanting to implement some new ideas, let me know as well. Or if you're a pro, let me know if where you're at in terms of your experience with AI, just so that I get to know you guys a little bit better. So I see here in the chat. All right, so having not used AI at all, amazing, so welcome. And only use Gemini for requesting info. Okay, cool. Let me see, Edward Beginner, amazing. All right, so I am super excited to share this with you today. I am going to share with you some ideas as to how to use AI, and I'm also going to give you a real life example. So we actually will use ChatGPT just so you can see what I type in, what it gives you back. And again, hopefully this will inspire you to use it in your business. It will save you a ton of time. So that's going to be the focus today. So small usage on AI, just reading the chat again. Perfect. All right. 1 second here. Let's go ahead and get going. So for those of you who are new to my webinar, this is a webinar that I do every week on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about free lead gen ideas. So today we're kind of going a little bit outside of the box because AI does much more than just free lead gen ideas, but it does that too. So we'll definitely talk about that. So yeah, please remember to join me every Wednesday at 12 o'clock. So every week we talk about a new lead gen idea. So a little bit about me for those of you who are just, again, joining me for the first time. My name is Jane, and I have been a real estate agent now for the past 12 years. I started back in my hometown of Vancouver 12 years ago. So when I moved to Toronto 8 years ago now, I didn't have a sphere of influence. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have anybody that I could sort of reach out to start my real estate career in Ontario. So I really had to rely on free lead gen ideas, or lead gen, generating clients. And being a single mom with 4 kids, I didn't want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on online leads, hoping that they would go somewhere. So I really needed to think outside of the box and come up with some ideas that would work. Along the way, I have also been the training manager for an online real estate brokerage, and then most recently a recruiter for one of the leading brands in real estate. And along the way, I've had conversations with hundreds of agents, and the conversation or the struggle seems to always reveal itself that it's about getting clients, right? We want to be busy, we want to be closing deals, but it all starts with meeting people, having conversations, following up, and ultimately converting those clients into or those leads into clients. So that's the focus with the webinar every week, Wednesday at 12 o'clock. That's what we talk about. So today specifically, we are going to talk about AI. But I recommend that you have 4 different pillars of lead gen. So again, while I'm describing this, if you've been here before, let me know in the chat, what are your 4 pillars of lead gen? So what is it that you're doing for the next 3 to 6 months that you're focusing on in order to generate leads for your real estate business? So there's a whole host of ideas, and that's why we do this webinar. And my recommendation is that you find 4 that you enjoy doing, right? But then also 4 that work. So I like to recommend that you have a simple piece of paper that you fold in half again, and you have this in front of you on your desk, and you write down in each square what lead gen is it that you're going to focus on for the next 3 to 6 months. So this can be everything from Facebook Marketplace ads, open houses. These are some topics that we've talked about in the past. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about AI, but just let me know in the chat what lead gen ideas you're currently implementing. So it's going to be really important to choose these 4 things that you enjoy doing so that you can see whether or not they're successful in the next 3 to 6 months. And in 3 to 6 months, you can decide, okay, this worked, this didn't work, or I really enjoy doing this, or I didn't enjoy doing that. So you can tweak your business to you and what your skill set is. So as I said, today we're going to be talking about AI. So hopefully that will be one of your lead gen pillars. But if not, if it's not a major focus, I hope that after today, you will know how to use AI to support what you already have in place. So let's get into it. Let's talk about AI for real estate agents. All right, so if you're feeling overwhelmed, this is going to be basic tutorial on how to get started, how AI can help you. Again, I'm going to show you hands-on how to log in, what to ask it, and we'll have some examples as to what it outputs for you. So this is not meant to be overwhelming. By the end of this, I hope that you feel empowered and you know how to use this and how to implement it into your business. So don't worry. We're going to talk about some different AI tools. There are so many. So this is just scratching the surface, but ChatGPT is going to be the main thing that we're going to focus on today. I am going to share with you Canva AI. So if you haven't used Canva before, it's a very simple platform that I'll share with you. And we've done a little bit of tutorials in the past in terms of how to copy and paste photos into Canva and how to create your social media posts. But I'm going to show you the AI section of it. So it will do a lot for you. So you don't even have to learn, what I was showing you before. There are lots of email platforms with AI. So there's Gemini for Gmail. We're not going to talk about that too much, but AI, I'm sure you've seen it everywhere. You might even have a CRM that has AI features. So when I say you probably have seen AI everywhere, I'm sure now, even when you go to pay a utility bill, right? Oftentimes you're prompted to have an online conversation with basically a bot. So that's AI. We're not going to be talking about how to set up those kinds of chats for our clients. We're going to use AI for all kinds of things. We'll get into it. So we're going to start with one tool. We're going to start with ChatGPT. And let's talk about what AI can do for realtors. So just so you know, AI isn't going to generate leads for you. So this isn't like you're purchasing online leads. This is helping you attract leads faster. So this will give you ideas in terms of how to, generate leads, and then what to say to them when you're following up, how to get them on the phone. So it's going to be your assistant, basically. So think of AI as your real estate assistant. So when we jump into ChatGPT, I just want you to keep in mind that prompts matter. So it will understand if you ask it to write a post, for example. But I'm going to recommend that you always keep in mind what kind of post you're asking AI to generate for you. So for example, if you want to write an Instagram caption, then I would recommend that in the prompt, you put in, write an Instagram caption for Toronto Realtor targeting first-time buyers with a friendly tone and include a call to action. So if you don't already have it open on your screen, I'm going to recommend that you go to chatgpt.com. So you can open that up on your screen right now, and we're going to play around with it a little bit. So have that open. And if you've never used it before, it might ask you to create an account. You don't even have to do that. This, again, is a webinar on free lead gen ideas. So we can use the free version of ChatGPT. If you find that it's useful to you as you go along, you might want to upgrade to the $20 version. I think it's 20 or 20 something. And that will just, it'll be more robust for you. It'll be a little bit faster. It'll suggest more things. It'll get to know you, especially if you create an account. It'll kind of understand your style of writing, and it will remember that and recommend that for you. So like I said, make sure that if you do want to follow along in real time, then go to chatgpt.com, and we're going to start with some ideas. All right, so here are the ideas for AI that you can use AI for, of course, creating emails and creating text. So you can certainly have an initial email that you send to or initial response that you send to a client who's reaching out to you for information. You can definitely ask it to generate follow-up emails. It's really good for creating sequences. So if you have a client that you met at an open house, or a lead that you met at an open house, and they're 6 to 12 months out before they decide to buy something, you can ask ChatGPT to create a nurture sequence, right? So that you have 10 emails that will go out to this particular client. So AI is great at helping you create those sequences, those drip campaigns. So I am going to say that AI, you want to be using it in addition to what you may already have. So if you have a CRM that has the capability of generating drip campaigns, this is how you can customize your drip campaigns in your CRM by using AI. So you can definitely turn those those open house leads, those cold leads, to warm leads, hopefully, right? To re-engage them later on, especially if they're not ready right away. So it's going to create faster and clearer communication just by using ChatGPT. So this is my favorite topic. Of course, this is what we talk about every week is lead gen. So ChatGPT is going to help you with lead gen ideas. So we're going to actually use ChatGPT in a second here, and we're going to ask it to create some lead gen ideas for us so you can see exactly what I'm inputting into ChatGPT and what it is outputting. But in addition to the free lead gen ideas that we're going to ask it to do, you can definitely create scripts and captions, marketplace posts, ad copy. So, there's a lot that it will do. So let's pause this here, and I'm going to flip my screen so that we can go into ChatGPT. And just let me know that you can see my screen. So I've already gone ahead and gone to chatgpt.com, and I've already written in the little box that pops up. So think of this, it's laid out like Google, right? It's just Google has the search bar in the middle, and now ChatGPT is going to have the same sort of bar in the middle where you can input what it is that you're asking it to do. So remembering that I mentioned it's all about your prompts. You don't, you want to make sure that you're giving it good information. So make sure that you're typing in what it is that you need, right? So you don't want to just say, provide me with a list of free lead gen ideas, especially when you're starting. ChatGPT isn't going to know what industry you're in. So you can type in ChatGPT, provide me with a list of free lead gen ideas for real estate agents that maybe don't include cold calling or door knocking. Fill in the blanks there, whatever it is that you don't want to do, you can tell ChatGPT, you know what, leave that out. So again, hopefully you have your screen up. You can do this in real time with me, chatgpt.com. Type in, please provide me with a list of free lead gen ideas, and then you can exclude whatever it is that you don't like to do. So let's just go ahead, and I'm going to click on this little button here with the up arrow, and ChatGPT is going to think about this for a minute and give us some ideas. So this is a very good use of your time. So when you use AI, it's going to, spit out all this information, provide you with all of these ideas, and then from there you can take what you like and, leave out what you don't. So let's take a look at what ChatGPT is recommending for free lead gen ideas. So we've got some online and digital ideas here with zero ad spend. So having a Google business profile, great idea. If you don't already have a Google business profile, you can definitely create one for yourself. So this is an idea that AI is giving you. The other idea that they have here is, or that it has here, is joining a Facebook community or creating a Facebook community. So something that is related to your neighborhood or maybe, moving to your neighborhood. So, and it's even recommending posts. So posts like what $500,000 buys you in blank, your area. So biggest mistakes made in blank, your area. Local schools in blank, your area. So, that would be a good Facebook community group to start that would generate leads. People would be attracted to that because that's what they're searching for, and then they'll find you. So it goes on to recommend other things, of course. It's going to give us a list here. Instagram Reels, TikTok. So if you're into social media, it will give you a ton of ideas. And I'm going to get to AI for social media separately. But yes, it can definitely recommend what to post because that's oftentimes a struggle, right? What am I going to talk about every day for the next, 365 days? So let AI come up with those ideas for you. And again, take what you like, leave out what you don't. So Craigslist is another recommendation here from AI, putting in rental listings. And you know what? I have to say Craigslist, Kijiji, I find works really well in Ontario. So, take that as an idea as well. Facebook Marketplace listings. So if you guys have been to my webinar before, this is something that I recommend. And we've done a webinar on this. So if you really want to deep dive into Facebook Marketplace listings to generate free leads, that's a great idea. So that's on the list. AI is recommending Facebook Marketplace as a way to get free leads. Referrals and relationships. So of course, if you have past clients, that's a great way to generate business. Again, if some of you on the call here are brand new, then you might not have those referrals yet. So that's why we do these webinars. And this list is great. Local business cross promotions, another great idea, partnering with lenders, movers, home cleaners, contractors, I'll say just a personal note, I did a contest on my Facebook business page, and it was very popular. I promoted a free house cleaning service, and I had a whole bunch of people obviously comment, and the challenge was that they tag their friends. So obviously, my goal was to grow my Facebook page, and ultimately, the person who tagged the most friends in that post won the home cleaning service. So I have to say that works. So another great suggestion from AI, off-market buyer list. So, you want to make sure if you're doing something like this that you actually have an off-market buyer list. I see oftentimes too the idea of posting exclusive listings. Make sure you have exclusive listings or that your brokerage does. So again, it just goes on and on. So you'll see this is why AI is so great. It is your real estate assistant. Whatever it is that you need help with, it's going to generate information for you to use. So it goes on and on. So free local guides, using Google Docs or PDFs. And guess what? AI can create this for you too. So I'm going to show you some examples in a bit. So Reddit is another thing that it's recommending. YouTube, there's a time commitment there, but definitely another good suggestion. So like I said, I mean, I didn't even look at this before we started, but it's giving us 18 different ideas. So going back to the very beginning when I said I recommend 4, here you have 18 ideas to choose from, and hopefully you pick 4 that you're going to use for the next 3 to 6 months to generate some leads. So let me see, what did we miss here? So local level presence. You don't need a booth, so not a conference, but farmers markets, school events, charity runs, neighborhood newsletters, open house strategies, home value curiosity posts, comment to DM strategy, email signature lead capture, local Q&A lives. So again, lots of ideas here. And then it even tells you at the end, AI is asking you if you want, I can build a 30-day free lead gen plan, narrow this to new agents versus experience, customize idea by city, size, market type, turn this into scripts, post examples. So again, ChatGPT, once you start using it, which I hope you will by the end of this, it's definitely, you can kind of go down this whole rabbit hole. You start asking it just one thing about lead gen ideas, and the next thing you know, you have a 30-day plan and how you're going to execute it. So it can definitely help you that way. So there you go. There's a real life example of how to use ChatGPT. So I'll go back to my slides. And again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to jump in. Like I said, I'm just going to go back to my slides and see how else AI can help. All right, bear with me here. So we just talked about lead gen. What else can it do? I did touch on AI for social media. So this is a very short list of what it can do because it can definitely do a lot in terms of social media. And I have to say, I use AI for social media a lot. So, you run out of ideas. What I've asked ChatGPT to do is to create a structure. What am I going to post on Monday? What am I going to post on Wednesday? What am I going to post on Friday? So that I have themes that I stick to, right? And then within those themes, when I run out of ideas, I ask ChatGPT, okay, what can you give me about mortgages? If, Monday is going to be my mortgage Monday, what can we talk about this Monday, right? So, and then I also use a scheduling platform. So, that's when AI can really, again, help you, right? So it's going to create all this content. It's going to help you. And if you have a system that then posts it for you or schedules it for you into the future, then, these tasks can go from being hours of your time to, 45 minutes on a Sunday, right? Hey, ChatGPT, can you please create all these social media posts and then have a platform where you schedule those and then it's being posted for you while you're out showing clients and doing that face-to-face work that we all need to do. So this is how AI definitely helps in real estate. All right, Hamid, I see your question. I will get to that shortly as well. So, okay, social media. So there's a ton of ways that ChatGPT can help you with social media. I mentioned the content plans, weekly content plans, and then different post ideas. So it can also help with time management, of course, if you needed to schedule your workday. Again, helping with batch content, so time management, when are you going to post certain things? Repurposing one idea into five formats. So if you have one idea and you want to post it on, um, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, those are all different platforms, and you might want to tweak it for each platform. And AI is going to know, what's best for each platform. All right, so buyers. Okay, so let me get to this. So, Hamid, to answer your question, you're asking about other types of platforms. All right, so let's do this. So, let's talk about working with buyers and sellers. So, beyond the lead gen activities, let's talk about AI for buyers and sellers. So, you can do a lot with AI. So, you can prepare buyer's guides. You can create consultation outlines. So, what is it that you're going to ask them when you get that first time home buyer, for example, on the phone, or maybe you're meeting them for coffee? What is it that you're going to talk to them about? What questions are you going to ask? What information do you need to gather from them? These are all things that you can ask AI to generate, and then you have an outline of what you're going to do when you meet your potential buyer clients. In addition to that, you can ask ChatGPT again, give me some objections that a first time home buyer might have or questions that they might have. And how do I answer that in Canada, right? So it'll give you very specific answers that you can provide to potential questions. So not only will it come up with the potential questions from your buyer, but it's going to give you the answers you need. So it can also help you with obviously creating a recap email, a template for it so that you can enter in different things. So AI, there are some platforms that you can use for voice notes. So, for example, when you are having these meetings, you can have AI record your meeting, and then at the end of that, it can create a recap. So you don't even have to do that manually. So Plaud Note, so Plaud is one of those platforms. So I'll recommend that. I don't use that one a lot, so I won't get into that. But what I do want to show you is Canva AI. So I'm going to specifically use it for buyers. Of course, AI will help with sellers as well. But talking about buyers, let's jump into Canva AI. So if you go to canva.com/AI, so this is another platform. So Canva is great for creating these posts. So again, AI has recommended all these things. Let's say, for example, of things to post, and then you want to create them. So let's use Canva AI now to help us create different things. So because we were just talking about buyers, let's go ahead and specifically talk about first-time home buyers. So let's create in Canva AI, we're going to input our prompt. We're going to tell it what it is that we're looking for. And let's just use that example. Let's go ahead and put in create first-time home buyer guide for buyers in Ontario. So of course you want to, again, be specific. So let's go ahead and just click on that little submit button. So you'll see that AI is very, I have to say, user friendly. So hopefully that's how you're feeling right now about it too. If you go to ChatGPT, it's a box and you type in your instructions. If you go to Canva AI, again, it's a box and you type in your instructions. So let's see what this gives us. So it's asked us to describe our idea. And so we're asking it to create a first-time homebuyer guide for buyers in Ontario. So it's already populating a whole bunch of different things. So let's go ahead and see what it's done for us. So it's created an introduction. It's created information about affordability, government incentives and programs. So of course, that's very specific to first-time home buyers. And again, it was important for me to put in Ontario there so it knows what information to input into your buyer's guide. So what is the home buying process? So it gives us a few steps here. Ongoing home ownership costs, so something to be aware of as a homeowner, and then tips and resources for first-time home buyers. So you can go ahead and further ask Chat or Canva AI to now create this as a presentation. So let's see what, please create this information into presentation slides. And then let's see what that does for us as well. So let me check the chat. What is the difference between Canva and AI and ChatGPT? Yeah, so different platforms. So AI is everywhere. Let me just see here. So yeah, so AI is everywhere. So the difference between ChatGPT and Canva AI is, the same as having AI when you're talking to one utility company versus another. It's all using AI. It's just on different platforms. So Canva AI is specific to Canva itself. This is where you can create a bunch of templates, social media posts, home buyer guides, as you're going to see here in a moment. Whereas ChatGPT can't generate a Canva presentation. I know this because I tried. I asked ChatGPT to create a presentation like I'm asking Canva right now, but Canva is the design platform. So that's where you want to go to actually ask it to create this for you. So, and it's asking us here, sure thing, to make your presentation just right, can you please share more about your audience, first-time homebuyers, real estate professionals, how many slides? So let's go ahead and let's just say minimalist, submit. And I didn't answer its questions about first-time homebuyers because I had it up at the top. So let's see what it puts together for us. Here we go. So yeah, so Canva AI will help you do presentations, will help you put together or design, I guess I should say. So it's the next step, right? So ChatGPT gives you the ideas, and I recommend Canva AI to help you create it. So it will create these slides for you so that you don't have to, figure out what picture you're going to put in and whatnot. I still do it manually most of the time, probably because I forget that Canva AI is there, but I should use it more often because I can see here right now, as we're doing this exercise, it is very useful. So it's creating, again, first-time homebuyer guide, and different covers, right? So here are all the steps that it's given us. And down at the bottom, we can ask it to now generate the design. So this is actually, it's funny, this is where I spend a lot of my time. I like putting stuff like this together. My social media posts, I always do it manually. I find the photo. I know I have my templates now. But if you're starting from scratch and you don't have a home buyer's guide, you can ask Canva AI to create one for you. So sometimes it takes a few minutes. And this is why, once you start using AI, I do recommend upgrading to the pro version because I find that it's faster in generating these things. So here we go. All right, look at this beautiful thing. So first-time homebuyer guide, we have our slides. First-time homebuyer, essential tips for Ontario buyers, first-time homebuyer guide. All right, oh, this is asking us for the design type. So what kind of design do you like? So I like real pictures. I'm less a fan of cartoons. So you know what, let's go with this one. First-time homebuyer guide, and there it is. So in a matter of minutes here, we just created a first-time homebuyer guide. So let me know your thoughts in the chat. Let me know if there's something that you're needing help with, and let's see if we can take a look at that. So it generates things very quickly. This is how AI saves you time. So here's your first-time homebuyer guide that we generated simply by asking Canva AI, and we see all of our different slides here. Introduction to home buying, understanding affordability. So all of those tips that it generated for us at the beginning, it has now created slides for us. You can ask it to create a PDF if that's how you prefer to share this information. You can customize it. So, I mean, this is, the initial crack at it, right? So this is what it's generated just with a few prompts, but you can customize this and it's highly customizable. All right, let me just check the chat. Yes, absolutely. So once created with Canva AI, can we edit? 100%. Yes. So you can definitely go ahead and change those slides, add your photo, put it in your language. So yes to that. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. I'm glad that you find that helpful. Yeah. Quick PowerPoint presentation that looks professional. Yeah, absolutely. It is. Yeah. It's like I said, it's going to save you time. So think of AI as your real estate assistant. All right. Okay. Is this the free version? My Canva, I do pay for it, so I'm not sure if this is available on the free version. But if you play around with it, let me know. Just let me know. I'm not sure if that's a paid feature, so hopefully not. Okay, so let's go back here. All right, AI for buyers. So I think hopefully that was a good example to share with you guys. What I also have found it helpful. I am not a numbers person. Numbers are not my strength. So I love this idea, how to use AI for market knowledge. AI can help you simplify market stats, explain trends in plain language, create buyer seller friendly explanations, turn data into content. Again, some people share numbers and that's great for their audience who are number friendly, but I like numbers to be explained to me. So ChatGPT can help with that. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've gone ahead and logged into my MLS system. And I thought what we could do, again, another exercise, is to pull up some stats and ask ChatGPT to explain it to us. And then that way, we can share that with our clients, sounding, of course, super knowledgeable. All right. Yes. Okay. So let's go ahead to stats. And let's go ahead and say, we're going to do historic sales by year. And we're going to specifically ask it to look at residential freehold properties in my area, which is Oakville. So let's go ahead and type that in. And then we want to customize it so that we narrow down what year, right? We want to ask it for the previous year, number of sales. Let's see here. Let's do custom. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's happening in the last month, 2026. Let's see what's happening in Oakville in the freehold, residential freehold market. What's happening from this year so far in terms of sales. So let's generate this and it's going to give us this chart. So you can also go and up here, again, your platform might be different than mine. I'm just sharing the platform I have, but you can go to data and then it'll explain what it is that you're looking at in this chart. So if you just click and find the data, we're just going to copy and paste this into ChatGPT and we're going to use a prompt asking it to explain this to us. So let's take a look at this whole chart. I'm just going to copy and paste it. So quick copy. And let's go back to ChatGPT, or actually let's open a new ChatGPT. And I've logged out of mine, just PS, I have hundreds of conversations with ChatGPT. I wanted to do this, from scratch. So let's just log out of that. So this is the free version. This is not me creating a profile. This is not me logging in. This is just using the free version. So I do recommend that you create a profile so that as you use it, it gets to know you. And again, it will put things in your voice. It kind of knows what you're asking for. It remembers you're a real estate agent, for example. So let's go ahead and input these stats. So please, and I'm always polite to my AI in case they take over the world, please explain these stats in a conversational, easy to understand way. Oops. And then I'm just going to copy those stats and let's see what it does for us. So what are you thinking so far about ChatGPT? Give me a thumbs up if you think it's helpful or if you're liking it so far. Let's take a look at what ChatGPT is telling us. So this is a long explanation. So I might ask it again to, paraphrase it, make it a couple of sentences just as a over snapshot. But let's talk through this just we're looking at the numbers together. All right, you've got sales counts from January and February across 2021 to 2026. Sales are going down over the years, and that drop is pretty steep. In January, sales were 253. February stats much higher than January. What this tells us overall, sales are declining year over year. And then again, ChatGPT is very helpful. It asks us now, if you want, I can help you turn this into plain English summary for a report, right? Spot possible causes or visualize what this decline would look like on a chart. Amazing. So let's say, yes, please turn this into plain English summary. And then I might say, to send as an email to potential seller, right? Or buyer, I probably should have said. But then again, it kind of gives AI a perspective, right? Who are we talking to? So in this case, I've said, please paraphrase this as if we were communicating with a potential seller. So here you go. Here's a draft email that ChatGPT has just created for you using those stats. And so it's speaking as you. It's recommending that you send this to your seller. And it's, again, casual and conversational because that's what you asked for. So, hello, I wanted to share a brief, easy to understand summary of the January and February sales trends over the past few years. Overall, the data shows a consistent decline. February follows a similar pattern. In simple terms, both months show a clear downward trend over time. Please let me know if you'd like to review the data in more detail. So, I mean, I've just paraphrased that, but that is something that you could easily copy and paste. Of course, you always want to read whatever it is that ChatGPT is providing for you. You can copy and paste that and send to your seller client. So again, hopefully you see the value here. Again, AI is definitely your assistant in so many ways. So whether it's explaining market trends or creating social media posts for lead gen. So let me see the chat. Do you think AI can do home evaluation? Yeah, I think so. I think if you were to say, again, it's all about your prompt. So if you were to put in, I have an upcoming 3-bedroom condo or detached coming up in this area. These are the recent sales. Please create home evaluation. Yeah, I definitely think that's something that AI can help with. Um, it should not be taking over our assignments. Hopefully AI can get the real estate assignment license. Yeah, no, AI is meant to assist you. You are the realtor. You're the one who's going to have the face-to-face conversations. But, with the example of market stats, for example, it's a great way. Again, I'm not a numbers person, so it's a great way for me to understand the data and then explain it properly. And asking AI to explain it for you, again, read it, take a look at it, understand it, know what it is that you're providing to your clients. And it's a great tool. It's meant to assist you. It's not meant to take over. So, okay, let's see. Okay, good tool, awesome. Okay, excellent, sounds good. Yeah, so Hamid, to your point, most agents, or sorry, most of the public knows AI. Again, it's about the prompts, right? So they might not have access to the data that you have. So when you were asking about home evaluations, for example, they might not have all of that data. I know that a lot of it is available, on House Sigma and whatnot. But again, you're the professional. You're going to be the one putting together these CMAs, and they don't have a real estate license, so they can't put, well, I guess they could put a for sale sign on their property and do a for sale by owner. But you're the professional. You're there to guide them through the process, and that's something that AI can't take over. So yeah, it's meant to be a good tool, and it's meant to help you explain things to your clients. So let's take a look. Let's just go back here, all the way back, and AI for listings. So yeah, I've already given some examples here in terms of how we could use AI for sellers. Certainly, when you have a listing coming up, you can definitely use it for listing descriptions. And in fact, I think this was the very first thing I used AI for, and not really understanding at the time its capabilities. We sort of, a group of realtors, we were all kind of having a conversation about a property that was coming up, and we very loosely described it to ChatGPT, just describing it as a 3-bedroom home, and it popped out this long listing description, and you can change the tone. And so that's what we were kind of playing with. We could ask it to, describe it anyway in certain ways, and it was kind of a fun project to do. But yes, definitely AI can help with describing listings, feature highlights, neighborhood descriptions, and yeah, MLS versus social media captions, right? Again, that's going to have a very different tone. What you put on your MLS public remarks is going to be very different than what you put on Facebook, probably, more than likely. So you can ask ChatGPT to create those 2 different versions for you. So we did recently do a webinar on open houses. So there was a lot that we covered there. But again, definitely, if you're looking for a specific script to door knock prior to your open house, what to say to neighbors, you can ask ChatGPT. It will give you a list. Again, you can take what you like from it and not, and talk to ChatGPT. Let it know, I like these 3 questions. Expand on this one, and then it will. So it'll continue to work with you and tweak. So AI goes beyond just the initial prompt. You can have a conversation with it, copy and paste the sections you like, and then that way it gets to know your tone and your style, and it'll recommend things that are more in line with that going forward. So definitely, a lot of ideas around open houses on ChatGPT. So Hopefully, you're feeling a little bit more confident about ChatGPT. I did give you the snippet of Canva AI. Hopefully, you'll find that helpful. So, if you don't have a buyer presentation or a listing presentation, we often have, of course, access to whatever our brokerage provides for us, but it's nice to have something that's unique to you. So, yeah, hopefully, you feel a little bit more like, oh, what do I have to learn now? And more of, I've got this. I've got it. So. Let me know if you have any questions around this or any other ideas. There's so many ideas when talking about AI. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you feel a little bit more confident in using AI going forward. If you ever do want to reach out to me, um, yeah, you can reach out to me. I'm all over the place. I will put in the chat how you can reach me directly. So my number is 905-330-0275. And yeah, happy to connect with you guys. Again, if you still have questions or have any other ideas, I'm happy um, to see that. Okay, so sorry, questions here. Can AI read or interconnect MLS data? So not that I know of. I would copy and paste what it is that I'm asking it to do or to look at. So again, there's still a human element here. So yeah, our MLS system does not have AI incorporated into it. So yeah, I would, just like I did with the stats, I would copy and paste what it is that I'm hoping or what I want AI to analyze for me, and then it'll provide the information. All right. Excellent. Well, thank you so much, you guys. If there are any other questions, again, feel free to ask and or interact. I'd love to hear from you guys.